Hi guys, my name is M and welcome to West Coast Hockey. Today I want to take a look at the strategy of the San Jose Sharks. So the Sharks have kind of become a little bit, I feel, predictable. When you can see them go in a rush, you know exactly where they're going to do with the puck, and when they're defending, you know exactly how they're going to do it. So I just wanted to take a look at some of the numbers and, after watching a couple of games, just break it down and see how effective is the Sharks strategy. So starting with the defense, the Sharks' defense strategy involves pushing shooters to the outside. So when shooters are shooting from near the boards or from bad angles, more often than not, it's either going to miss the net or it's going to be an easy shot for the goaltender to get. So that seems like a pretty viable strategy. And just taking a look at some of the numbers, the penalty kill, which involves the same strategy, is at 88.5%, which is second best in the league. Shots against per game are 28, which is first in the league, and goals against per game are 2.5, which is fifth in the league. So these are upper third numbers. The Sharks are kind of an elite team defensively. So it makes me think that, at least on the defense, the strategy seems to be working out really well. And of course, they're helped by their goaltender, Martin Jones. So in terms of goalies who have played at least 10 games, Jones' save percentage is .922, which is 10th in the league. Goals against average is 2.24, which is third in the league. And shots against are 294, which is fourth in the league. So this, the combination of the D-core and Jones shows that the strategy defensively is working out really well for them. And, just from watching games and, doing the good old eye test, out of the 11 goals that were scored against them in the past 5 games, only 5 of them have been scored when the defensemen were in position and Jones was in position. So that means when they're playing their system, out of the 11 goals that were scored against them and their system was being played effectively, only 5 were actually scored against them. Granted, 3 of these goals were from Tampa Bay, and I'll get to that a little bit later. So breaking down the offense in a similar way, the offensive strategy is kind of what's been called a high-low strategy. The forwards will rush deep into the zone, then they'll pass the puck back up to the defense, and then the defenseman will throw it toward the net and look for either a goal right away or a tip to get a goal that way. And if you watch games, you can see they play this way fairly often. So I feel this kind of limits creativity of the players, and I think the stats kind of show that. So for offensively, the goals for per game is 2.57, which is 27th in the league. The power play percentage is 17.5%, which is 20th in the league. And shots for per game, 32.7, which is 10th in the league. So while their shots for is pretty high, it doesn't seem like they're scoring a lot of goals. This is in the bottom third of the league. And I think more importantly, the number is out of the past 5 games, 12 goals were scored. Only 4 of them were from point shots or point deflections. So what this really means is the strategy, I feel, isn't really working. They're scoring more goals off the rushes and off of broken plays, and they are employing the strategy that they're supposed to. So, I think offensively they do need to change something in order to want to generate some more goals and hopefully win some more games. And I think one important way to look at this is the game against Tampa Bay. Sharks lost that game 5-1, and it was an off night for the defense. Jones wasn't playing well. They weren't be able to get set up in the defensive zone for the latter half of the game, and Tampa Bay just completely took advantage of that. And I think it shows that the Sharks are kind of one-dimensional this year in the sense if the defense isn't playing well, then the offense can't make up for it. If they had a more viable offense strategy to go against in that game, it might have turned into like an offensive shootout kind of deal, and they could have come out with a win. But with this way, when they had defense and nothing else, then there was no way they were going to, pull a win out of that game. So I feel the way that they're playing right now is kind of not sustainable. The defense will steal some games for them, and, they are scoring, their goals for per game is higher than their goals against per game, but it's a very one-dimensional team in the sense that if a team figures out how to get past the defense, then it's kind of over for them. So I think in terms of the, being predictable and winning games, they do need some changes on the offense if that's going to be a reality for them. So that was just my look at what the Sharks are playing like this year. Let me know your opinion in the comments below. Feel free to argue mine, and I'll see you for the next time.